Thank you so much Odeo Studios for giving me a free code of this game. So Mother Hub is an upcoming indie sci-fi FPS horror game where you fight against a bunch of mutated creatures in the depths of a massive space vault, and you have to do whatever it takes to uncover the truth about your past and the futuristic weapons lost to time. Welcome back to the channel. Today is gonna mark my very first time doing an early review for an indie game that's gonna come out in a few days. My apologies for being MIA for the past month, but life just gets in my way very often. Nonetheless, I am very excited to take this opportunity of sharing my first impressions for an indie game that was never on my radar to begin with. Just so you know, I was given a code to play the beta version of this game, so my thoughts are gonna be exclusive to that build. The full version of this game could be different compared to what I played, but only time will tell. I'll do my best to share the best things about this game and make constructive criticism on some of the design choices. Thanks again Odeo Studios for the free code, and I hope this review will make it all clear for you. Without further ado, let's talk about the positives first. First things first, the best thing about this game for me is the atmosphere. It really gives you the same vibes of sci-fi horror as something like Dead Space and Doom 3. Considering that, according to the dev himself, Half-Life, Doom and Dead Space were his main inspirations for this game. It's all thanks to the use of lighting, the visual environment and the sound design. I actually felt like something was watching me and waiting around the corner to prepare an ambush. It's even more impressive with the fact that this was made by one single person, in a game engine like Unity no less. The next positive I have is the lore building. I'm not gonna spoil the whole thing for obvious reasons, but to keep it very short, the whole game is about Tia, a woman who suffers from amnesia. She lost all her memories about her childhood and family, and you have to travel in the depths of the Mother Hub, where everything is decayed with a population of people who turned into these mutant alien creatures. Her main motivation for doing this is to unlock all of her personal memories, discover a cure for humanity against this plague, learn the main source of this destruction, and what happened to the futuristic weapons that lost their advantage for the past few centuries. The only ways for you to get into the lore even further is to read emails, listen to audio logs, find ancient writings and documents, as well as experience strange flashbacks. My third positive thing for this game is the enemy balance. While the gameplay isn't the most polished ever, the balance between the player and its obstacles is fairly well made. There were times where I recklessly let my guard down, thus getting damaged. It made me feel very vulnerable and defenseless. The only way for you to gain your health back is those medkits that are attached on different walls in different places. With this design choice, it really gave me the sense of survival horror, despite the game having an action FPS DNA to it. I also shouldn't forget that this game features morality choices, so you are gonna experience multiple endings of the story, which is pretty neat. This beta took me under 2 hours to complete, so that's all the positives I could give. We shall now talk about my personal issues with the game, and I'm gonna do my best to be as fair as possible. My major problem with this game is that the enemies are bullet sponges. There are almost no instances for you to stagger any enemies on your way, no matter which weapon you're using. It just makes the combat feel less fun to mess around with. They don't have to make the enemies weaken for each bullet, but I think it would be amazing if they had a stagger feature depending on what part of the body I am shooting at. My preference is for the enemy legs to not be bullet sponges. Now I do understand if this is a difficult task for the developer to accomplish, because game development is not as easy as it sounds, but I do hope he takes this into consideration. My second problem with the enemy variety is that because they are bullet sponges, they also happen to just slide towards me on some occasions. It just feels too arcadey and it can cause the game to be unfair at times. I think this is the one that I would like to see getting fixed in the full version or the next game from the same developer. My next problem is the voice acting. Not all of it is bad, and I'm pretty certain the voice actors did their best to accomplish their goals. But the one that really took me out of the experience is the president of this vault. Just have a listen.
Well, look who survived. Oh, you're Maggie's kid, right? Listen, I'm not a monster. It's the sickness must be contained to the less fortunate, I mean.
With all due respect, this cheesy voice work reminds me too much of James Marcus from Resident Evil Zero.
10 years ago, Spencer had me assassinated.
Maybe it's not my place to tell the voice actors what to do if this was done on purpose, but my advice is for them to work a little bit better and make the characters sound less drunk. Last but not least, my final issue with the game is that while attempting to get the other endings, the final sequence is too heavily scripted, and it doesn't allow me to make my choice sooner than intended. Like, I wanna kill both or one of these guys right away, but the game won't allow it until they finish their dialogue. It kinda breaks the immersion. Oh, I shouldn't forget, there is also room for improvement on the user interface of this game. For some reason, the light selection on the graphic settings is resulting in them being turned off instead of the opposite. Also, I think the background dialogue from the emails and audio logs aren't very visible for the player, and I think they could fix it by adding a background box. Overall, Mother Hub is a very interesting game. Like I said, it was never on my radar before, but the developer reached out to me and requested that I should promote this game for him. I accepted it right away because I also want to expand my channel with this type of content, having the opportunity to do early reviews for different upcoming horror games. I don't consider myself a professional reviewer, but I hope this video will put the game on the map and help the support for this developer. I did have a good time playing this game. It's not perfect, but it does have the potential to deliver an indie influence of iconic titles like Half-Life, Dead Space, and Doom. If you love either of these games, I'm certain you'll enjoy this one. Just don't expect perfection. Mother Hub is gonna be released on April 23rd, and you can wishlist it on Steam if you are interested. Thanks again Odell Studios for giving me this opportunity, and I hope my feedback for your project is clear enough for you to improve and make an advantage on your development skills. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Farewell.